Hello, it's me, and we have a new update, and it introduces this vehicle, the Heroic Curata, and a surprising amount of other changes that are fairly sizable. And to be honest, there's so many that this video is going to be a bit more just like going through a list that I've made into rather small post-it notes. Only could have done with 3 post-it notes, but still. So anyway, this is the Heroic Curata. Does everything you expect from a default vehicle at this point. It is quite modern, which I like, and it feels a bit more like something you could actually buy, because it is supposed to be a recreational vehicle. Well, not this version, this is a race version, but it's supposed to be a somewhat recreational vehicle, so something you can actually buy and buy, which is nice, because what was it, the off-roady one a few updates ago. Very nice for off-roading and stuff, just you don't actually see any in real life unless you like visit an off-roading thing or something. And this is a CVT actually, and even though it's all-wheel drive, I think there's a heavy rear-wheel drive bias, because yeah, you can get the back end out quite a lot, even on the like stock ones, not stock factory, which do look quite nice. Like they say all rata in this corner, about where the E-shock is. But even they, when they're all-wheel drive, have like quite a rear wheel slip. I'm also gonna drive like the custom, but that's rear wheel drive slot. But I've decided no, I definitely won't be good at driving that. Also, I guess I clipped the wheel. I guess it has a flag too, because flag, and also stuff in the interior when it's not broken. Doesn't light up with the lights, but there's a high beam bit there you can just barely see. Has a map too. Is quite a loud vehicle, I think, but you would expect that, wouldn't you? And it's loud because it's a race vehicle. And I do quite like how you can see all this stuff. And when the stuff falls off, like you can see, yeah, well, yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff that falls off. So the other vehicles are, because there's multiple, there's not necessarily vehicles, there's 2 new trailers, a tilt deck, which we totally won't be seeing later, and an enclosed trailer. And I do like the enclosed trailer and the tilt deck. And honestly, it's good to have more trailers and beams. Like, while you won't use them that often, like, it's just nice to have, isn't it? And that, especially the enclosed trailer, like an enclosed trailer that isn't the massive dry van trailer for the semi. And there's also a gooseneck hitch on the trailer, on the tilt deck trailer, and with that came the bug fix where like using the unhook, like unattach and like attach like things only works for like one set of attachment, because well you could like on one of the versions, well at least the version I totally don't have spawned in, you could have a tow hitch and a gooseneck hitch at once, so I guess if you want that. And I think it's the first official gooseneck hitch. There's definitely some modded ones, and all D35s come with a gooseneck hitch now. I think all D35s, maybe not. Maybe it should just be some D35s, but still. and another random bug fix is that apparently the Bastion and the Wendover had uncentered cameras, like orbit cameras, which I've never noticed, but it's just like one of the things where if you did notice it, it would just like annoy you so much. And then also, quite importantly, the I-series and 200BX have had a slight refresh to their J-beams apparently, and also the I-series, not the I-series, the 200BX, the rear subframe can now come off. Like the front and rear subframes of the some killer and bullard and stuff. And all, I don't know, like the front subframe of the Barstow. When you walk, the name used to be unicycle technically, but now it's actually being changed to walking. There's a quite funny bit in the post where it said there was a literally like unplayable typo and grammar fixed for the large box utility player, and I did say literally because it's supposed to be literally, but I find it quite ironic, and I think it's intentional that they spelt it wrong. What else? There's new signs too, like the road signs. There's new like stuff on them, and they've also fixed clipping with them and reworked deformation, so the signs have had like quite a lot of updates. And you can also snap hay bales now, like the J-beam's been changed so you can do that. And actually I'll come back to that later in fact. They've also updated vehicle prices, which I think is very good, because honestly vehicle prices are so weird. I think they are still technically a bit wrong, because they're the price of that vehicle when it was new, I think, now. Either they were the price of the vehicle when it was new at the time, or the price of the vehicle when it's new now, but like, you don't consider the fact that it's like some sort of old vehicle, like a Burnside or something, but like the price for it is new, because Burnsides aren't manufactured now, or wouldn't be. Like, of course they aren't new. And so it's either it was that and they've changed it, or they have changed it to be that. So I don't know if the prices overall will have gone up or down, but who knows, to be honest. And actually, the update released yesterday, or at least as of creating this, it'll probably be 2 days ago. And they've already released a bug fix, which does make sense because there will be some bugs. I mean, not all of the bugs I don't think were even caused by the update. I think some of them are just general bug fixes they didn't have in the update. And also, when you all maps have like refuel bits, and there's different types of like refueling. Like you can charge your electric car now, or that you can also get like diesel and petrol. So I guess if it's a petrol station with diesel or no petrol, or petrol or no diesel, you can only fill up petrol if it's got petrol, or diesel if it's got diesel. And obviously you can't like charge your electric car if it doesn't have electric. Also, another major update is West Coast USA. Like, it's got the islands that used to have the big bridge and the leaf in the tunnel, now actually has a big bridge go to an actual island there. There's a refinery on the island, a dock, a port, because there's like a difference between a dock and a port. The port's public, and also a lighthouse on the island is like the main theorized, and of course the fact that it you can actually go on it now. They've been updating West Coast USA quite a bit, and it already was quite a big map, well, complicated because that was a city, so it's very complex now. And then also they added a steel factory to the mainland near the motorway highway thing, and also a new car dealership, and updated the rocks. And another major update, see I told you there's quite a few, there's VR, it's like experimental, but it's compatible with most like VR headsets and stuff, because it uses like the type that's compatible with most, I guess. There's also new missions, of course, because, well, obviously, there usually is, to be honest. Oh. And time trials are now like properly missions. Like previously, you had to get to them through the main menu, whereas now you can like get to them through the like in-game mission markers. Like if there was a time trial here, and I had mission markers on, I don't actually, then you'll be able to go to it from there instead of just from the main menu. Also, I will be honest, this car is really durable. Like, you can have both, like, front wheels fall off, and probably even one rear wheel fall off, and it will drive. Just it won't steer if it doesn't have front wheels. In fact, I'm pretty sure if it had one front wheel that had perfect steering, it would drive not too badly. I mean, as you can see, it's sort of a bit broken now, but still. Yeah. There's also a better increment for the fog slider, because I was actually thinking this the other day. When you have fog, it's so weird. Well, it was so weird, I should say. It would, you'd try to increase it a tiny bit, and you couldn't only increase it by one, whereas once you got to like level 10 of fog, it was getting to the point where it's like really thick. So only the first few levels of fog were actually realistic for a not foggy day, like just a medium fog day or low fog day. And you can also, there's like a quicker FSD change, so they like reduce the time it takes to change your FSD for like the people force feedback FSD. Also, electric motors ignore ignition states because they're like electric motors. It's like just how they work. I am also thinking I'll probably implement some sort of other ignition thing for electric motors, but I think I saw a thread on the forum that said there's all sorts of different types for them, so they're like doing it a bit waiting a bit. And this is my sort of thing, my thing, my gooseneck thing. Actually, I'm gonna sort of take this off. Nope. I'm gonna quickly drag this off because, okay, well, if you don't want to be dragged off, I'll drag this off. There we go. That's a very wonky angle now. I'm gonna change that before I drive off. So your trailer is the medium length 30 foot, they come in 22, 30 and 40 foot. And also you can colour them, of course. So, why on earth did you do that? And they attach this gooseneck bit, and, well, you can see there's also a tow hitch. I mean, I don't think you could tow two at once unless you, spawn them inside each other, which obviously you can't do in real life. But but technically you could tow two at once. Or if it's like a weird thing. Oh yeah, and since I just absolutely shifted, with like realistic to try and get tad extra speed. There's also like new shift logic, so like you can like damage gears differently. Mostly for like I think it said it mostly affects the realistic gearbox, but I found a massive problem with it. That like my default vehicle is a manual, and I think it happens with all manuals. I was actually gonna test it, but I forgot. Uh, they if you leave them in arcade, they just don't drive on their own. Like when you initially do it, you have to put them into realistic, shift up, and then put them into arcade. And if you do come to a stop, and even if you came to a stop in it, but like without the what's it called, and like going to neutral, they still mostly seem to drive work properly after that. So it's really weird, and I really don't like it. It's annoying. Oh gosh. So yeah, you can see there's controls there. I need to attach it, don't I? There we go. So yeah, the shifting thing is actually really annoying. Also, if you don't put into realistic, it will just destroy like your synchronizer for like gear one. Like literally, you can destroy it in like less than a minute. And I don't think that's particularly realistic. We can do that. Well, because you can't have an automatic manual like an arcade when you have a manual in this game. But for me, who's lazy and can't be bothered shifting, that's very extra annoying. Well, most of the time can't be bothered shifting. Also, the AI, there's a sort of Control Shift A things you can do. That's the AI drive. And previously, if you put it on and take it off, like I actually just did there, and the AI would stop before giving you back control, which was annoying to be honest. If you're just letting the AI drive this up here to build up speed, and then you wanted to take control so you could slam it into the wall like I'm totally not about to do, then it was annoying that it would just stop. I mean, it would also steer, like stay on the road and stop, but it's still annoying. So now it hands over control straight away, which is nice. Also, on the one of the menus, it says there's like a. Let me read this. It's a bit small. Like there's a follow head tilt or roll re slash roll and recentering, and it says like lying in bed as one of the settings, which I just find rather funny, especially because you can't lie down in this game, and that's on the VR settings, not just like the general settings. And there's also a new noise when like a hot engine cools, and I did actually test it, admittedly by setting the vehicles on fire and then like extinguishing them. That's the right word. Oh, and then I think it was the tree. Oh, that's right. I actually did that before and I fit, but this time apparently not. It's a weird angle to have a crash. Still, ooh, that was quite strange. I mean, I think it was realistic, but still. So obviously the lights and stuff work on the gooseneck trailer. Oh, there we go. Hazards, all that stuff. Brake lights, everything you'd expect. So where was I again? Yeah, the engine cooldown sound. engines and exhaust sort of pop and crackle when they're cooling down. So that's quite cool, and I'm guessing it's realistic, obviously. There's also a JBeam editor, like official JBeam editor, which is really big for modders, and there's also a JBeam spelling error like checker thing, but it isn't always accurate. So that will also help modders. That's a lot of damage, isn't it? And there's also a JB modifier leak visualizer. So if you like JBeams are having leaks or your JB modifiers having leaks, whichever one there's two, that's like leaks definitely aren't good because they're fixing them constantly. I think it's like memory leaks or something. And so there's like a leak visualizer so you can see what's leaking and stuff. Anything else? Oh yeah. You can also back on the topic of new settings in the like settings bit. You can also skip license plate generation. So I don't know if my car actually has a license plate currently. It might have just skipped the generation. Okay, no, it does, but it can like skip it, which does happen to me sometimes, even though I don't have it on. Well, and it wasn't an option before. There's also a WIP work in progress terrain generator from either raw data or a PNG, which is also good for modders. Oh, pavement, I guess. I might miss something. I might have a tiny post. Let's have a quick chat. Oh yeah, there's a gooseneck hitch for the 6x4 bullide too, which is nice. And also the enclosed trailer doesn't have a gooseneck, like a gooseneck style attachment, like the one I have currently, as I said before. But the bullide does have a gooseneck attachment, the 6x4 one, which I've actually seen a mod for, funnily enough, and then actually a very new mod because it wasn't just a 6x4 bullide; it was based on the 6x4 bullide, like the Gambler one. So it was a fairly new mod. Which is rather cool. I mean, it is difficult to control. I'll tell you that, especially if it's like a fancy or weird one or something. Uh, yeah. So I did that. That was actually from the other piece of paper. So I did miss something. Nothing here. Yeah. And only a bit more to go, and then I'll end the video. So I mean, if you want, you can like and subscribe and stuff, or whatever, if you want. Also, traffic apparently didn't respawn on racetracks before. But if you spawn the traffic while you're on the racetrack, it'll respawn. But if you don't spawn it while you're on the racetrack, then it presumably won't respawn. And also, please ignore some offences when you're on private roads, because I guess some of them you can. Also, on the camera glitch thing on the Bastion and Wendover, apparently when you had a trailer, the look back was also like had an incorrect offset, which would also be annoying. That is just so much damage. Well, actually, yeah, I'll show you one of the glitches I've found. Well, actually, not a glitch, because it works for the D series. But when I go back to the Hiroshima Rata, using as a keybind that for me is Control Shift H. That's a custom keybind that like makes it like all the hinges of your vehicle to detach. But for the Hiroshima Rata, the hinges do detach. Just with Control Shift H, for me, they just sort of open instead of detach, which is weird. I was thinking maybe the update will fix it, but it doesn't seem to script AI can also more closely follow a script, and the script AI, like with an external force thing, and the script AI could be like the one I use when I'm making my other crash videos that I'll have a link for in the top right corner now to the playlist. And don't crash into that just yet. Oh well, I guess I have it. Well, I guess I'm pulling a piece of metal at this point. Oh, and one last door. So the script AI can more closely follow the things. So it's either, I think the script AI is either the one like the AI in missions, or the AI that like I said I use in my other crash videos where you like record a path, because the path like recording thing sometimes just didn't work. And also the wheels spawn above ground, which I have had as a glitch before, where like some of the vehicles spawns underground, like especially when on a steep hill, which I've done quite a few videos for recently. There's also like a check assets thing for the F11 menu that can also help to reduce file size, and like generally check that your assets are like okay and not broken and stuff in a map, of course, like F11 map. What have I written there? No idea what I've written there. And that probably means that AI, the script AI that I was talking about before, can also like keep up to speed more realistically with what the player can do. There's also improved random AI driver behaviors. So I don't know what's a random AI driver behavior really. I presume it's probably just something like things that drivers do that technically an AI wouldn't do, because unless if you programmed it, like there's weird things that drivers do sometimes. Oh, I punctured a tire. So, which is obviously also realistic. And oh, I guess I don't have to worry about punctured tires now because it's reset. Oh wow, it's still driving. I mean, it doesn't have steering, but you know. Okay, I can go in a circle. Oh good. So that'll almost be it from me. I say almost. I'm gonna see if I can get this stick or anything. No. Also, I do quite like how there's different types of wood on there. Just something, you know. Also, vehicles just don't seem to have like the blue boxes on doors for opening them. And that's what I meant by the hinges don't detach, they just open. It's weird. Oh, flappy hinges. See, the hood won't flap currently, but still. Let me figure out what I wrote here. You lost in the Patar Srota. Yeah, that's definitely what I wrote. Oh wait, no, it's upside down. Oh, I already said it. Wow, I'm really smart reading it sideways because it's so small and so bad. Like writing that, I didn't even know that I was reading it the wrong way around. Yeah, I already said it. There's just multiple couple of things. So that is actually going to be about it for me. So, well, goodbye. When I crash my HiPrivate at least, it will be. There we go, that wall over there. If I don't lose control, okay, maybe not that wall over there. And that wall, the grey bit. But I guess the lamppost is better. So, my hazards on, I swear. Well, I guess that light's broken, yeah, it is. So, quite an interesting, weird crash. And from me, goodbye. Just had a nice video update.